Hello, everybody, and happy Monday. Welcome to another week of Business as Usual with Deborah R. Nelson. And I am super excited for today's guest. But first, we're going to take a second and share this video. We're going to make sure it's public for everybody to be able to watch and tune in at the same time. And it's now published. So, Shakeitha, you can go ahead and share it with your page. So, while she does that, I'm going to do a quick introduction. This is Women's History Month. So this month, I specifically picked out women that I thought were doing amazing things in business from different levels. There were people on this show who had businesses for, 10 years, 15 years, maybe some just starting out. But I made sure for the month of March, we were finding some impactful women. So Shakeitha, she is from New Jersey. So this is another Jersey businesswoman. Woo! From the East Coast. And um, one of the things that really inspired me about her is just a couple months ago, I think a little over a year ago, you had like this idea. You're like, hey, I want to start my business. I want to start making courses. And I absolutely love when I see people and their visions just bubbling around, right? And then next thing you know, boom, a business is born. So I just want to take this time and pass it to Shakeitha and let her do her introduction and tell you all about herself.
Okay, good evening, good day, beautiful people. I am Shakeitha Jeffries. I am a New Jersey native and all about Jersey, or just a roundabout Jersey girl. And I'm just so happy to be here. Deborah, thank you so much for reaching out to me to have to be on your show. I totally feel honored and it's a privilege. I know that you take time to speak to business owners about their journey and to offer tips on what they can do, on how others can follow in their same footsteps. So I'm just grateful to be here. And I think it's just amazing that you are using your personal platform to highlight business owners such as myself. I, started this business last year in August, right during the pandemic. This was my second business. Um, my first business, I started a handmade jewelry company that started out as a hobby because I was turning 30 at the time and I wanted to find a way to show my friends that I cared about them. I couldn't give them any real monetary gift at the time because I was struggling, still struggling to
Right.
bring in some coins. But I decided to reach out to a friend and say, "Hey, can you help me put together some jewelry, some bracelets for the women that attended my who attended my birthday party?" And the looks on my friends' faces when they received that gift, knowing that I made it for them, really
Oh.
sparked something in me. And so that's how I really got started with my entrepreneurial journey. So fast forward to last year, I work in higher ed. I work for one of the premier public schools of public health in the world right here in Baltimore. And in my profession, I'm not able, I don't have an opportunity to work from home. And so I said, okay, while I'm home during this pandemic, what is it that I can do? I wanted to make sure that I utilized the time that I had home to pour into myself. I did not want to be the same at the end of this pandemic. And so I made a commitment to
Oh,
myself
I love
to
that.
take up some business courses. I wanted to learn more about the business of entrepreneurship. I wanted to learn more about branding, which is how we met
Yes.
through the lovely and the talented Sade, who I adore. Who was in her course creation class,
Yes.
and that's how we met. So that was the first time. Last year was the first time that I really invested heavy money into myself to learn the craft of business. I also wanted to make a commitment to start a stationery company. My pretty girl knows I always wanted to start a stationery company, but did not have the time to figure out how in the world I was going to do it. And so that's how the second company was really birthed. And it's close and near and dear to my heart because I really took my time to learn about all there is to know, and I'm still
Yes.
learning about stationery. And I was filling in a gap not only because I wanted, this has been a dream of mine to start the stationery company, but walking into big brand companies where we buy planners and stickers and all of those
Right.
things when we're planning, I didn't see images that looked like me.
Yes.
Look at that.
Bam. I love that. That
And
is
that
so
was
cute.
a thank you. And I'm taking those now. That was a problem. We spend our hard-earned money. Black people are one
Exactly.
of the number one consumers, and not seeing things that represent me, that became a problem. So I decided to start this company, not only because it was a passion of mine, but because I wanted to be able to provide women of color with stationary products that reflect the beautiful shades of Black women. So here we are.
Yes.
Here we are.
Yes, I love all that. And let me tell you something. We met in a course creation class, and Shakeitha gave like her introduction of what she wanted to do and what she was here for. And she was just so laser focused. And I remember I was like, man, she's whatever she's up to, she's going to be powerful. And I see that in your brain. I see the creativity. I see the representation, and I see everything that your brand stands for. And I'm just like, wow, you make a good point. When we're Hallmark card shopping, when we're in Staples, right? Because we're both right now in the education system, and we have to get planners, we have to get notebooks and things like that. And it's kind of like, if I'm going to be investing my money, I want something that kind of represents me. I don't want like a random face on my planner, right? So I think I'm so excited that you took that stand and you created that. You created a product that symbolizes a great portion of the consumers that are out there, which are Black, beautiful women. So
Absolutely.
I love that. So one of the things that you said, I had to make a note of this. You said, I did not want to be the same after this pandemic. That is so powerful because the pandemic could have shaken us, right? Could have broke you. It could have left you confused and in the same place, stagnant, but you decided to thrive. So when you made that decision to thrive, what did that even look like? We're on lockdown, you're in a house. How did you birth this thing?
Well, anyone that knows me knows that I'm a hustler. When I moved out this
Love
way,
it.
I, was in my doctoral program, and I made a commitment. I was driving back and forth from DC to Jersey every week. And
Wow.
you know, that was a commitment, because we work 9 to 5 jobs, and we give and we give and we give to these companies. And by
Yes.
the time you get to
Yes.
yourself, you're tired. And so I got
Exactly.
burnt out. I really got burnt out from my program, and I needed to take a break. And when I said to myself that I have to use this time, um, and not be the same. I cannot come out after, be the same after this pandemic.
Yes.
I want to make sure that my sentiment is not taken, the wrong way. This pandemic has definitely shaken the very core of many of us. Um,
Yes.
People have lost jobs, who have lost their lives, and people are still struggling and trying to navigate this pandemic. I don't take this pandemic lightly. It has had a great impact within the Black community.
For
But for,
sure.
yes, but for me, working as a higher education professional, working in student affairs, we don't work from home. We're connected with students. And so I said, oh my goodness, I didn't even know what I was going to do, because I'm like, I've never worked from home. I got to get my whole office space set up. And so with that, it was a time for me to actually rest. I wasn't commuting as much anymore, and driving almost an hour and a half each day, to get to work, it takes a toll on your mind, body, and spirit.
It does. It
It,
does.
it does, right? And so I wanted to, when I was thinking that, I was like, okay, I can rest. And what can I do to make myself better? What can I do? I grew up first generation college student. I'm the oldest of five, and I come from a
Nice.
family who has, I come from humble beginnings. So I'm
Yes.
always
Yes.
pushing myself to the next level. Sometimes I drive my own self crazy, but I want to make sure that I'm successful. I want my family to be proud of me. And I just wanted to do all of the things that I
I
want
love
to do.
that.
We got a black president, okay, in the White
Yes.
House. And it really, that really lit a fire in me once he was elected. And
Yes,
it's
for
just,
sure.
for me, I can do anything that I want. You are your biggest fan, you are your biggest cheerleader, and we are
Absolutely.
also our biggest pain in the butt.
Critics.
Yes, critic. And so I just want it to be better. That's just what it's about. And I know some people say, "Oh, you're already you're doing too much." But I'm gonna always do too much because that's just who I am. I want
Yes.
to be better. I want to grow, and I want to help other women who look like me to know that if I can do it, so can you.
Yes. And that very statement, you're doing too much. And I know in your mind, you're like, I'm not doing enough. And I truly believe that's what separates successful women from people who decide, who choose to stay in the same place. I'm not going to say unsuccessful because we have different measures of that. But you're going to continue to progress, and it's showing in where you were last year and where you are now. And I've seen that transition. So you saying like, hey, I'm not doing enough, that's your drive. And you being a first generation college graduate, you being the oldest out of five, like that is amazing. Now you have your four siblings that's looking up to you like, my sister did that. I know it's possible. Because I mean, stationery, that is such a unique niche, because when you go to Staples, you don't think about who's creating it. You don't think about like, I can actually create this. Or, you look around the aisles and you're like, oh, I wish she had this color shirt on or something. You're actually doing that. So,
Hmm.
what are some things that you get your inspiration from, like your creativity on your notebooks? Is it like, some friends of yours, like the woman that you're displaying? What's actually um pushing your creativity, if you will?
I draw on creativity from everywhere. I have friends that say, "Hey, you should make this," or you should do this. My inspiration really comes from everywhere. I can sit and watch TV, and I was like, "Oh, maybe I should do this." But I want to be clear with all of my problems. Not only do they um, are they appeasing, appealing to the eye, and I think that they're pretty, and I think that they are nice. They really still serve a purpose, not making us, helping us to feel good
Yes.
about ourselves, whether we
Yes.
are in the boardroom, in the classroom, in a
Yes.
sorority meeting, wherever we are. You have products that you can feel good when you're using them. But the thing is, with my company, I am very intentional about helping women to create the life they want to live.
Oh, I love that.
And how do I do that? With my products. Mental health is real. And sometimes sitting down and journaling will help you to
Yes.
process the things that you're going through. I was just, you can Google. Just earlier today, I facilitated a discussion for my scholars at the school that I work for. And it was on how to navigate graduate school during COVID. And if you
Oh,
Google
that's deep.
and if you Google Google that phrase, you'll see that there are so many no, so many companies reporting that so many students and people are going
Wow.
through mental health issues. The pandemic has really heightened it. So my
Right.
inspiration is really all over, but the underlying and the overarching theme is to help women to be productive in their daily lives, and that's all about productivity.
I absolutely love that. So you basically like invite people into a new fulfilling lifestyle as well. So I never even thought about that. So you putting like a certain snapshot or image on top of a journal may invite someone to start using it to, as a mental health tool, something they may not have considered in the past, but now they can kind of connect with this item, and now they're adopting a new lifestyle per se.
Yes, and there's, inspirational quotes. I am a spiritual person. I do believe in a higher power. So you stumble upon my items and you'll
Yes.
see some Bible verses, you'll see some
Yes.
quotes. I want to make sure that you have that something to motivate you every day. So when you pick it up, I want you to be like, oh, okay, I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me,
Yes.
and that you can constantly be reminded of your brilliance and your talent and your beauty and the things that you give to the world. So if you
Awesome.
are not, if you come across my items and you are not one who leans on biblical scriptures or quotes, my company is not for you because it's all over. It's infused in all the products.
I like that because at the end of the day, you got to know who your client is, right? So, hey, this is boldness, ladies and gentlemen. If you're listening right now and you're considering business, you have to be okay with saying, like, you're just not my client or you are my client. My client looks like this, acts like this, is interested in these type of events and sayings and things. And if you don't fall in that, that's okay because that is how you speak to your client. You create things for them and that type of person. So, if you're in this Bible motivation, encouragement, scripture, that is who you're speaking to. That business. Now, is your client the businesswoman? Is it someone aspiring, someone current?
My typical clients are women who are high achievers. They are high
Oh, yes,
achievers. They are out here, they're gold diggers and they're making things happen in their lives.
yes,
However, sometimes you get to a point where everybody's expecting you. You're pushing yourself to do more, be more. And sometimes you get knocked down and you just need a little bit of encouragement. So
yes,
most of my clients that I work with are they gravitate to me. They are women who are already leaders in their respective communities, and we're all leaders. I mean, and that's pretty much a lot of us. We are leaders, whether we see ourselves in that way or not.
exactly.
Mhm.
Whether it be, you know, in whatever industry you're in, you could be a leader of a, beauty products or, you know,
Hairstylist,
exactly,
comedian, social
retail,
worker. Yes,
banking, finance, medical industry. You are a leader in your own right. If you're the leader in your household, I mean, hey, it is what it is. So I like that. High achievers, gold
high achievement.
diggers.
Yes,
Yes.
yes, yes.
Um, cool. So what is some of the like success? What would you consider a success with your business you've seen in a mix of a pandemic? I'm not saying that we're at the tail end of it because we just don't know what to expect. But you were standing and operating this business in a pit of it. Like I remember when you and I connected, it was like going to the grocery store was like a death threat almost. It was like, what? I'm absolutely not going unless I have to. So how was that? With everything happening around, what would you consider the little successes that kept you motivated to get this done?
My success, my partner, my boyfriend, he is, in my inner circle. I have my mom, I have my sorority sisters, the people that are closest to me. You can't share your vision and your dreams with everybody, but sometimes you have to connect with those who are around you, your inner circle. And so for me, being able to talk this through, my boyfriend was like, well, he made the first investment. He said, well, why don't you check it out? You've been talking about this for a while. I have in my cabinets, there's not a lot of pans. So I have like my grilling supplies for my first business. And now he's like, you want to do something else? Why don't you go do it? And I'll give you money
I
toward your
love that.
investment. And
Yes.
so, yes, it's really important to have people in your corner who are truly rooting for you and who are going to support you. And someone like yourself, giving me this opportunity to talk and share my space with your platform. But the successes to me, the text messages that I get, the emails that I get that say, you know what, I received my notebook, I received my mug, I received my item. I absolutely love it. Thank you. And thank you. So for me, having individuals to come back and, my clients to say, thank you so much. I love your products. And that show up and they support me. People are not going to support you if they don't know you, if they don't like you, if they don't trust you. And so I really try my best to be genuine. I try to be authentic and I just try to show up in all my extraness. I am.
Yes. I
Um,
love it though.
you're
That's
my
the one
twin
thing about
today.
you. You're so unique. So like your brand is a direct reflection of you. I was like, oh yes, that is all her.
Thank you. And we showed up as twins today. So we're
I
channeling, great minds think alike. We came in here. I was like, I want to wear some money green. I want to wear some green
to
today.
the cut of the shirt here. I was like, wait, what is going on?
So this was not planned, ladies and
No.
gentlemen, but we are embracing it. And we're here
Yes.
today, in formation with our green on.
Yes. That is hilarious. So cool. What are some of the challenges you faced but decided to tower over?
Um,
I think you're muted.
I had to mute. I don't live alone, so I had to say
Okay.
thank you.
I love this. This, yes.
One of the challenges I face, I would say it's a couple challenges. Number one is just that sometimes just having that motivation to keep going. You're
Right.
excited. You I don't have a boss in this particular space with my stationery company.
Exactly.
If I don't move and if I don't push myself, it ain't nothing's gonna happen. And so one of the challenges that I experience, is just not letting that imposter set in, and pushing myself to continue to
Yes.
do all the things and be all the things that I encourage my clients to be brave, to
Yes.
have the courage to move forward, and to, you know,
I love
just
that.
do all, smash your goals. And those are all the things that I encourage my clients to do. But sometimes I struggle in that very same area. So I always just, again, try to lean to my inner circle and just try to speak positive things over myself so that I can continue to be motivated and encouraged to move forward, because somebody is dependent on me and I need to
Yes.
know it.
Yes, people are watching you all the time, and I like the fact that you're like, I'm trying to match my, because ladies and gentlemen, brand, right? Your brand is you, you're your brand. I know so often we try to figure out, and I don't know if you can agree with me, when you're starting out entrepreneurship or your business, you're like, what identity should my business have? Because when you're coming from a work environment where everything is structured, you have a boss, there's already a vision in place, you're kind of like, this is what it should look like because this is what professional looks like. But when you actually start your own business, you're the boss of what professional looks like. If being professional to you means everybody is showing up and they have on like a bright orange, apron because that's professional, that's what y'all are wearing, that's what you're wearing. You don't have to kind of figure, that's the beauty of business. It could be you. So like you said, what you consider to be extraness is really just your personality and it's just bleeding through. And would you say that, oh, I'm sorry. So you matching that energy and saying that you want to ensure that while you're empowering people with your products, that you're also empowering yourself. So
Absolutely.
you're actually being trained to develop those processes because you yourself are going through it. So I like that transparency.
Yeah, it's hard, and I'm not gonna lie, sometimes I get, I'm involved. And not only am I a business owner, I'm a sister, I'm an auntie, I'm in a sorority, and I have a leadership position. And so there's other things that are competing for my time. And I think that
Right.
it's very important to figure out ways to manage your multiple priorities. And so
Yes.
that's really key. Trying to encourage myself to keep going, but also having a system in place to help me to manage those multiple priorities,
Yes.
and knowing that I cannot do everything right now. Some stuff I'm just going to have to say, you know what, it's not, I can't do it. It's not a priority at this moment.
And that's okay because we do not want burnout. It's okay to push it till tomorrow because when you have a business, that business is every day, all day,
Mhm.
365 days. You transitioning that task to the next day is okay. It'll be
Absolutely.
there.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Nice. So, what advice do you have for women that are watching you, women that are like, you know, again, one thing that's very interesting about our guest tonight, Shakeitha is in a stationary industry. So, if you're not certain what that is, that's all things planners, notebooks, mugs, all those type of things, right? The people that are looking at you that knew you from years ago, or people who are just seeing you now, what kind of advice do you have
I,
for oh, go ahead.
sorry, sorry. I'm just
You're
like, I'm
good. You're
excited.
excited.
Just staying true to yourself, just staying true to yourself and what it is that you aspire to do. Um, it has, people say, well, why did you want to start another stationery company? There's already stationery companies out there. And once I started learning more and doing
Mm,
more research, there are tons of stationery companies ran by amazing Black women who are doing their thing. And that could be a little bit intimidating. But if you walk down the bread aisle or the cereal aisle, and Sade likes to talk about this all the time, you will find a number of different cereal brands, right? But ain't
exactly.
nobody, look.
There's someone buying every single type of brand on the shelf and they're getting restocked daily.
Exactly, exactly. So
Great
my
example.
exactly. So my advice to you is not only staying true to yourself, but it is okay to start something else that has already been started.
Yes.
You know, there's some people that's probably mad at me because I started a stationery company. It is enough room for all of us to
Refine. Make it
shine
better.
and to make it better. You know, the thing is, you got to find your tribe, the people that
Exactly.
is, you know, I'm not for everybody. So people think I'm
Exactly.
extra. It's okay. I am. If you knew my story, honey, you will know that I have all the reasons to be extra.
You
I'm
earned
not.
that extra.
Yes, I'm extra, but I'm humble. But I'm just excited to live life and have the opportunity. You know, my mom had me at the age of 16, you
Wow.
know, and people thought that I was not going to make it. They thought, you know,
Wow.
I'm going to be a statistic and not go to college and not do the things that I'm doing now. So stay
Wow.
true to yourself. You have to encourage yourself, and it is okay to start a business that somebody else started. You just have to ask, you know, make sure that you're addressing the issue of, you know,
Exactly.
what problems is your business
What are
solving?
you solving? Exactly. You're preaching tonight, okay? This is
Hello.
it.
Listen,
And
pass the collection plate.
yeah, seriously, ladies and gentlemen, you have that idea and you're probably sitting on it because you're like, well, somebody's done this. Someone, made Starbucks. Why am I going to compete with Starbucks or X, Y, and like Shakeitha said, you're not for everybody, and somebody's going to come and purchase your coffee. It doesn't matter if you're not Starbucks. People might not like how Starbucks coffee tastes, and you can make the next
Exactly.
best coffee. Find your thing and stick to it. Be confident. There's
Be
so
confident.
many, right? Business consultants, so many bankers, financiers, but what makes you you? Bring you to the table in your business.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And I think for me, you know, the thing that just, you know, stands out for me is that I'm taking all of the things, you know, I can't code switch. You know, in my day to day life, you know, in my role at this, I serve as an assistant director of student life. And in my day to day role, I
That's cool.
serve, yeah, as an executive leadership coach. And I get a chance to work with scholars, master students, doctoral students, postdocs
Nice.
within public health. And I get a chance to talk to these individuals. And I'm like, some of them, I'm like, y'all got more credentials than me. You
And
know,
they're listening to you, right? Because you have
yes,
something different to offer. You bring
yes,
something to that room.
yes. And so in my role, exactly, you know, there's people that are going to gravitate to you for the things that you bring. And so
Yes.
in my day to day life, I talk to individuals about leadership development, how to help them. You know, I'm providing resources and tools to help them flourish as the leaders that they are so that they can live
Yes.
their best life. That is really it that I'm doing. And so it is great that I can bring what I do in my 9 to 5 over into my
Yes.
business and over into what I do in the sorority. So I'm
Exactly.
excited to be able to bring all the things that I love to do, helping people follow their dreams and achieve their dreams. That's really it. That's what I love to do, because if it had not been for individuals who saw something in me, I don't think I would have been here. You
That's
know, I had
beautiful.
a mentor, you know, mentors that really pour into me, and one in particular, I haven't talked to him in a while, Dr. Daniel Jean, from New Jersey, such an amazing inspiration. He told me over 10 years ago, you know, people gravitate to you. You have a story to tell. You need to teach your first course. You know, because of him, I was able to teach my first 4 credit course at a college, and I was scared to death. And had he not pushed me to do it, I wouldn't have done it. You know, and it was like, wow,
Wow.
yes. And that was
Ah,
completely crazy. I never saw myself in that role.
wow.
Jeffries, if it wasn't for Dr. Jean just pushing me and nudging me, and seeing something in me, I would have never, you know, made that commitment to take on that challenge. Then it came to my doctoral program. One day he just showed up and had a degree frame, which is I use it my office is still in the box, and it just says Dr. Jeffries on it.
Oh, that's so
And
awesome.
it was scary. I put that thing in a drawer for a long time. I put that thing in a drawer for many years until I had the courage. But I think that we have a responsibility as as leaders within our communities. If we make it, we have a responsibility to reach back and help others.
Exactly.
That's what I want to do.
Yes. Yes, and you got it. You got the concept of business because in reality, ladies and gentlemen, it's about solving a problem, it's about serving others, and it's about providing opportunities. Those three things. Our guest tonight, I captioned this earlier and I said beauty, brains, and business because that is the three things I see when I, look at what you're doing, look at you. You make business look good, you make it look easy, and then when you speak with poise and just intellect. And I'm glad that you're able to be a guest tonight. I love your story, your encouragement. And again, if you want more of Shakeitha, you order her products and you can get a little pinch of her motivation on a daily basis because she's dropping those scriptures that keep her together. She lives this, accomplished lifestyle and, overwhelming at times, but you manage it so well. So,
Thank
you
you.
know, with it being Women's History Month, I can't thank you enough for your time. I know you're busy. So the fact that you made time to be on this show tonight, I truly appreciate it. You guys see her website down there. That's how you can contact her. You can get her bio. You can find out about her products. And if you wanted to leave a last note or leave something on the table here, please take the time to.
Absolutely. I just want to say thank you again, Deborah, for providing such a wonderful platform for me to be here. I'm like, oh my goodness, it's over already.
I know.
So many things that we could just chit chat about. But I just want to say to each and every one of you who have tuned in, if I can offer anything, stay true to yourself. Surround yourself with
Absolutely.
positive people who will help motivate you and lift you up during those times when you may not be able to do that for yourself, and to whatever business aspiration or leadership goals that you have, do that and be great. And so thank you so much. God bless, and I hope to see you all around the web sometime. Thank you.
That is awesome. Thank you so much. Ladies and gentlemen, it's another week of business as usual. Again, please do not hesitate to contact our guest. She's available. She's ready to serve you guys. Do not hesitate. So, you guys have a great night. It is Monday. You have a full week ahead of you. Stay productive and stay encouraged. Have a good
Yes,
night.
yes, yes. Good night, everyone. Bye bye.